It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Thornbridge Brewery and it's a bottle of their Crackendale. It's a Citra Pale Ale coming in at 5.2% ABV. 330 bottle from Thornbridge. There's the bottle cap. Let's get this beer out into a glass and see what we get. Nice bit of smoke on the bottle opening. Beer in the glass then. Light, almost straw coloured beer, good levels of carbonation, one finger white head. We have a clear beer, it's a very clear beer, it's definitely been filtered. Let's get the aroma. I do like a Citra Pale Ale or anything with Citra hops in. Oh, that reminds me. That reminds me of Citra. I'm just going to mention it. Oakham Citra from many moons ago when I first brought it out. Really lovely and hoppy. It's got a kind of a malty kind of course it's beer. It's got a malty aroma to it. That citra's right in the background. So sweetness, bitterness on the nose. In terms of sweetness and bitterness, I'm picking up malt and a kind of slightly kind of piney, mango-y, a lush mango kind of aroma. Let's dive in. Cheers everybody. Well, that's a nice beer. It's a nice beer. I picked it up in Morrison's. It was part of the four bottles, I think it was for £6. So if you bought it as part of that deal, it was £6, so £1.50. £1.50 a bottle. That's what it would cost to purchase. And yeah, it's malty, biscuity, sweet. Bitterness comes through on the back end. It is a mango kind of tropical fruit flavour coming through from that Citra hop. And it's a nice bitterness on the back end. It's nice. I'm going to review it for what it is, a £1.50 beer. A lot of the breweries now, they started off, I remember when Thornbridge were a small little brewery and they produced Jaipur in a 330 bottle. I reviewed Jaipur in a 330 bottle before they put it into a pint bottle, and then they went back and put it into a 330 bottle, probably at the supermarket's request. So I watched Thornbridge kind of grow. I first seen their beers go into Waitrose. Didn't really see a sign that things had changed at all. I'd always buy their Jaipur in pint bottles. I think it was about £2.60 a bottle. Really good quality stuff. It was like buying top end craft beer in a top end supermarket, if you like. Now they're in Morrison's, they're in Asda's. They're in Tesco's, Thornbridge. They've expanded. Obviously the brewery's grown, they've expanded, they want to get the volume up of the beer. And they're able to produce now this level of beer, this kind of offer, this 4 bottles for £6 offer, £1.50 a bottle. Is it as good as what I'm trying to get at here? Is it as good as the kind of the old kind of Jaipurs and some of the other pale ales they used to produce years ago? They used to do a New Zealand pale ale that was completely out of this world. It was terrific, and I'm trying to think of the name of it. They did Raven Black IPA. They did Versaviced. They still do Versaviced, but they sell it in Wetherspoon's pubs, which is a Vice beer type beer, and that's really good. I like that. I just feel that they've brewed this Crackendale. They've brewed it at a price point. Of course they have. They've brewed it at a price point, and it reflects. It does reflect on the quality of the beer. It does. It's malty, it's hoppy, there's some mango flavour, there's some sweetness, there's a nice balance to it. I like the beer. Perhaps I'm just reminiscing in this beer review. Perhaps I'm just thinking of the Thornbridge that were that dinky little small brewery producing terrific beer. Maybe I'm just showing my age. Maybe if you gave this to a beer reviewer on YouTube who was kind of new and fresh to craft beer, and he was getting into it, and he was buying all of these bottles in the supermarket and really enjoying them, maybe he would have a slightly different kind of point of view on this particular beer. As an independent beer reviewer, I will be independent. I will say what I think about this beer. I like it. I like the price point. I like the fact it's £1.50. It's easily accessible. It's tasty. It's drinkable. It's lovely. But they've come down from their high end, where they were. Their high end masterclass Thornbridge Brewery that they once were. And I suppose that's just my experience. That's just that I've been drinking craft beer for 11 years now, and I've seen these breweries grow over time and grow bigger and bigger. Now they're everywhere in all of the supermarkets. And it's not a bad thing. It's really not a bad thing. What I'm trying to say is that I hope that we found our level now. We found our... Okay, they've come down a little bit from their quality. I just hope that these breweries who have made their way into the supermarkets don't bring their quality level down any further. I suppose that's the worry, that's the danger. Yeah. That's my final thoughts on this particular beer. It's tasty. It's nicely carbonated beer. The carbonation pushes the beer on the inside of the mouth, releases more flavour. It's a decent beer. But it's not a great beer. It's not a great beer that it would have been if Thornbridge decided to brew this 8 years ago. It would be terrific. I hope all of that made sense. I hope it just wasn't standing here kind of waffling on and you guys were like, what is he talking about? Light golden colour, Crackendale packs a strong citrus punch, yet remains eminently refreshing. Hops Citra. Yeah, it's refreshing, it's drinkable. I drink a few of them on a barbecue, at a barbecue, on a Sunday afternoon. I often barbecue on a Sunday afternoon. Yeah, it's worth that kind of £4 for £6 deal. Rating. I'm going to give it a price point rating. So £1.50 a bottle, 4 for £6. I'll rate that. Yeah, it's a good 7 out of 10. But if you ask me to rate the old Thornbridge, if you ask me to rate this beer when Thornbridge were really in their prime as a fantastic craft brewer who everybody was talking about in the UK, everybody was talking about Thornbridge at one point, then this would be very poor by their standards. Do you get where I'm coming from? It would probably be a 5 out of 10. So I suppose that's where we are. For somebody like me who's drunk 5,100 craft beers, still going, still enjoying the craft beer scene, seeing Thornbridge where they are, seeing where they've been, see where they're going, it's a 5 out of 10 in terms of their overall kind of Thornbridge brewery reputation and standards. It's a 5 out of 10. But for a beer in a supermarket, brewed to a price, yeah, for £1.50, yeah, it's a 7. It's a 7 out of 10. Thanks for watching. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.